Okay, so welcome. In this video, we're going to cover how to add a character sheet in Foundry. So for this example, we're going to use the salamander pre-generated character. And so in this case, just going to kind of show you what we have to start with. We have a character with one mythos, three logos. And so we've got some power tags and some other things are going on in here. So I'm going to just kind of add some of this to give you an idea of how it goes. So I'm going to put this off in a separate window so I can reference that directly. All right. So in City of Mist, we're going to go to the Actors tab, and we're going to create a new actor. So what I would think would be best to do is riffs, and there's a subfolder called the crew extra. So you could, inside the riffs folder, create a new actor. You would, if you clicked here, it would create it inside the crew extra folder. So we'll create a new riff here, and it'll ask for a name. So in this case, our hero's name, we're just going to put Salamander. These pregens don't provide another one for them. So Salamander, and it's not a danger, it is a player character. So when we pop this up, this brings up a blank character sheet that doesn't really have anything in it. You don't even know what to do with it. So it does have this active extra theme. That's kind of interesting. But otherwise, it's got these different sections here, and we'll go over those real quick at the end. So in this case, we're going to add one theme, and we're going to fill them in. Now, in these pre-gens, we don't really have a very good idea of what letters were used. They didn't put down the letter that the tag is referencing. So when it comes to pre-gens, I just kind of do ABC. I just go right down the line. I don't try to guess. You're welcome to do that. So in this case, when we add a theme, notice that when I unlock the sheet, then we can make edits. But otherwise, this is in play mode, so we can't really make any fundamental changes to the sheet unless we unlock it. So now it's unlocked, and now we can do things that we couldn't do before, like add themes. We can also fill in what the mythos and the logos are, etc. So I guess I could do that. So this is you can put even a short, like a one-line description of the character here. In this case, we're going to just add themes. I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first thing is an expression theme. So we get to choose which theme book we're going to use. And then the character sheet actually just pops up with the theme. And you notice it's purple. When we add a mission theme, for example, that's a logo. So it'll pop up a different color for the logos that kind of matches the published pre-gen style. So one more thing to note is that there is a player section, and I do have a theme books section here, so I can bring up the theme books. And so I could go to expression and I click the button to load the PDF, and it just loads the PDF here. I can collapse the sidebar and make this a little bigger, but easier to read maybe. All right, and then bring it down so I can see it. All right, so so I would normally go through a Nimbus of Primordial Plasma. So I think that's what would go here. Nimbus of Primordial Plasma. Okay. Oh, there's a drawback here is that these fields are somewhat limited. Say, I will go back here and I'm going to just get rid of the word of, and that'll make some more room. Nimbus Primordial Plasma. Okay, fine. Then the mystery can go down here. We don't mess around with attention or fade right now. We don't have to worry about that. And then from here, I think we can actually build the rest of this sheet. Oh, gotta put the mystery in while it's in edit mode. And this is how can fire and water be one? All right, and I have a fat finger typo here. All right, so at this point then, because attention is already at +3, which means that you can add 3 theme improvements to our no tag theme. So I can now just add these. And so what happens is when you click power tag, the star is a bonus tag and the anchor is a weakness tag. You can actually, and you can of course just do this while you're all in edit mode too. It all works just fine. So this first one is going to be the power tag burning Nimbus whips. So you can choose this top one here for A, because question A is what's the most common way you use your mythos, right? That seems good. So we hit confirm. That pops us this really cool window that lets us choose all of this. Burning Nimbus whips. Nimbus, how about Nimbus? Okay. All right, so there is our, you notice it just automatically updated the tag. So we've got that, and then we can put a description. I love this field. This is where you should go to town trying to describe more about what this is. Like, you know, so-and-so can, Salamander can create summon whips from nowhere, and they are it's just fire in the shape of whips. Okay, there you go. And then, so that way, when you put the description here, notice when you mouse over the tag, it just says A, but then summoned from fire out of his hands, for example. All right, so now when I mouse over it, once it saves, you have to just click out of the box, and then it saves it. So now when I mouse over, it actually puts that description there for people to see, especially me, as we mouse over. Some tags are subtags, like this G tag. These are all subtags, like super strength. The subtag is summon lightning weapon. So if this is your tag here, and you want to summon lightning weapon, then you would choose subtag of super strength, right? In this case, this is the A, so it doesn't have this is not a sub. This maybe have other things that are subs, and this right here is the minimum that I'd want you to do. You can, though, and I would encourage you to go in and add more examples of where the tag would apply, examples of where the tag would not apply that you might think it would, but it doesn't, and then general restrictions to the tag's usage. Those are great additional prompts for further defining really what this tag does, what it does for you. And then it answers some of my questions right up front, and I don't even have to ask you to explain yourself. So I'd encourage you to fill those out. Again, not terribly required, but I do like the description in particular that tells us more about what this is. So that is how you add tags, and you can see that it pops it up into the chat that you've added a tag. I'll show you that. This out of the way. It says Salamander created a tag, Burning Nimbus. Okay, so cool. So it just kind of keeps a record of what you did in the chat as well. When you are done with your 3 power tags, you'll add a weakness tag, and that's what this anchor is. So you maybe go down here and see what the weakness questions are. So I'm just going to pick one, and that is what? Weaker in dry conditions. So let's do that. Weaker in dry conditions. So then once I show you that, again, you could describe that in those details as well. So now you can see it's got a little down arrow. Those are weakness tags and an up arrow. So if we go into play mode, I just want to show you, like, let's say you want to do a go toe-to-toe. You would change them. There are a lot of moves in here. You can explore those. They're all out right out of the book. But if you want to go toe-to-toe, you would select that. Then start picking tags that apply. So Burning Nimbus of Whips. You notice that when you click it, it turns yellow. This means there'll be a plus to your roll. That's a power tag, a plus to your power, and this is a minus to your power because it's red. So that'd be an even roll. There are maybe times when a power tag might be a minus. If you right click, that's left click, this is right click, it will change the color. So you know this will be a minus to your roll. And this is the same goes here, it uses the opposite. Right clicking turns it yellow, right? It changes the color. So just right click, right. So if you left click on the thing, it stays the same, but right clicking changes it. Okay, So then when you want to roll, you just hit execute move and it pops up your confirmation that you've got these two things going on. If maybe the MC gives you a custom modifier, or rather than going through the paperwork of putting a power tag or a status out there, maybe someone steals a spotlight and creates some juice and creates a tag and it's all done verbally. You can just add two for the two tags that you're going to tap for this as well. And then if you're going to burn a tag for success, you would pull this down and choose which tag you're going to burn. In this case, I'm only using one. So that would be it, and then it would burn that tag for success. So you wouldn't need to do these other things, right? So then you confirm, and it goes over to the game master. And if the game master confirms everything, then it rolls. And you can see that in this case, I rolled an 8, so that's a good. I get a success, and I get to choose which one of these things I want it to do. Okay. So it only lets me select one, so I have to pick which one I want it to be. That way, just for record keeping sake, I'm going to block. I'm not going to it was a stalemate this round. All right, fine. So, and that's how that works for how your character sheet works. So you just fill these in. I recommend you plan this out first on paper. Just because once you create a theme, like if I now create a new theme and I make it a mythos theme, so like let's say I'm going to do conjuration, for example, um, it may not be in the right order that you want them in. So creating it in the right order, same with tags. If I were to add another tag, but then delete burning hand, burning nimbus, and then add it again, it wouldn't be in the same order. So I just recommend kind of setting it up on paper first and get an idea of what your character is going to be and then put it in here. But you don't have to. You can certainly add them in here and it will work just fine. The other parts of your sheet. So let's talk about juice. When you do change the game and you create some juice, you can record that juice here. You hit the plus for adding juice, and it will ask you to name the juice. So you can say what it's from. This lets you get kind of verbose if you'd like. So I think we can do this quite a few times, and it will fill in lots of whatever you're getting this juice from. And then source and method might be more detail about how you generated the juice. Maybe not the specific tags you used in the roll, but maybe where it came from something else. So this might be from, change the game. So you might do change the game, and the method was digging up supplies, something like that. Like you went out and got dredging up some things to use. So this is where this comes from. And if you're going to use the juice, then you can delete it and you convert it to a tag. I wish this would actually, if we use this, I wish it would convert it to a story tag, a status or something, but it doesn't. So you would just delete it when you've used it. But this way, if you have to bank a juice, then you have an idea of what it was and how you can use it. Same goes for end of the session. If you choose help or hurt, then you would pick them off the list. And notice that if it starts with the first person, you have to choose someone else and come back to the first person. And then that has a help. I wish there was, again, more detail about being able to put in why you have help, David, but it doesn't. So you'll have to just kind of remember that. Same with hurt. Clues, we don't really use the clue system. I don't like the typing back and forth. So you should use notes. Either you can use your own notepad app or note app, whatever, or you can use journals if you want to keep them all inside here. Again, there's crew journals, and inside crew notes, you can create your own page. This is a common note area. Or you can create your own private notebook, and that's if you create this, it would be a private notebook and only you'd be able to see it. So this one is set up for all players to have access to. So if you want to add another page in here and take notes in there, you can certainly do that. Okay, so I think that's it. Moments of evolution come up later. Whenever you lose a theme, you switch out a theme, you will get the improvements and build-up points. And once you reach 5 build-up points, you have a moment of evolution. Your bio is here. There's a couple things to note just about this character sheet. That you click here to edit, and it opens up an editor inside here. And when you're done, make sure to hit save, because sometimes if you click away, it doesn't save what you've typed, and then you're like, oh crap, I have to type it all over again. So you can type that in here. Same goes for biography. Lots of space here, but you need to hit save in order for it to save. All right, I think that covers everything that's important about the character sheet. So down here is automatically the crew theme that's available to you. So you can use those. These are all crispy tags. That's why they have that leaf. That signifies that it'll be a crispy tag, and it burns when you use it. Okay, I think that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know.